Great day. So, welcome to the next module. And so, this one is all about why you keep choosing the same exact partners over and over again. As I mentioned in my dating journey, I kept meeting the same exact men over and over again. And that's when I decided to start doing the therapy, got a life coach, got a dating coach, because I knew there was something that needed to be healed within me, or something I needed to reveal to break that cycle. Because just like some of you guys, I was at the point of enough is enough. I knew I wanted love again. I knew I wanted marriage again. I knew I wanted more kids. But so I was tired of the heartbreak. I was tired of being ghosted, tired of finding someone. I was like, they're the one. And then it turns out they're not the one. And they disappear and never see them again. And so that cycle kept repeating itself over and over again. And with the therapy, with a life coach, with a dating coach, it helped me to reveal things that I needed to release, things I need to heal from, so that I can get onto that other side of now being able to find my person and find the love of my life, because I've done that healing now, or before and now, because I'm still doing the inner work. And so what it took was me to look at myself and see I was the one choosing these partners. And let's say I was dating two guys at the same exact time. And at some point, I would get serious with one, but typically I would get serious with the one who was the most toxic or who I knew was a challenge. Usually they were a challenge too. Maybe they weren't the most toxic, but they were a challenge. And the one who was easy and simple, who I knew would treat me good, I would dismiss them or slowly just spend more time with the other person so they would slowly just leave anyway. And so I had to look at myself and figure out, why am I trying to keep these men who are challenging, who aren't consistent, who don't treat me the best, and I'm trying to show them that I'm worthy. And so that's when I had to dive deep into my inner world and figure out, why am I doing this? And so that's the one thing I want you to start to do today. Take out your journal, take out your notepad, take out your voice memo, and figure out, or write out actually, the different types of men that you typically attract. And then maybe take 3 of them and write out your love story. What happened in that particular relationship? What happened in that dating? And once you write out all 3, take those 3 and look at any common denominators of the reason you chose that person, the reason you may have stayed in that relationship, the reason you wanted to date them, or the reason you may have ignored some red flags or saw the red flags, or maybe they were good for you and you chose to dismiss them. Because sometimes we have people in our lives that are great for us, but we dismiss them because we don't feel we're worthy of them. So just look at all 3 of those relationships, or dating ships, or situationships sometimes too. Just kind of look at those and see the patterns. Once you reveal that pattern, now you know you have that blueprint to know going forward, this is not what you want. You know you want love. You know you may want kids again. You know you want true love. You're tired of the heartbreak. You're tired. You're ready for some true love. And so to do that, we need to get rid of the things that would no longer serve us, and those types of people that no longer serve us. So identify those common denominators of things that you know no longer work for you, that you've dealt with so many times in a relationship. You're ready to break those cycles. And so we're going to break those cycles now by looking truly into the different types of partners that we attract and why we attract them. And then also look at why you may keep someone around so long and you know they aren't good for you. Imagine you're dating someone, maybe in a committed relationship, maybe not, maybe situationships, whatever case may be. And you're dating them, but you realize this person isn't healthy for me. They don't treat me good. They don't call me consistently. They don't have a job. They don't make money, or they are verbally abusive. They are mentally abusive. They're physically abusive. Like all these different things they may be doing to you, and you know you aren't happy with them. And you stay. And you stay for whatever reason. So let's start digging into that. Like, what is attaching you to that person? What is making you stay beyond the disrespect, beyond the calling out of your name, beyond the all those different things that may be happening in a relationship? Why are you staying? We can no longer keep blaming that person for treating us that way we're getting to that point, as I mentioned, of taking back our power, no longer seeing ourselves as a victim, and we're going to take accountability for ourselves. And so look at, you may have gone through all these different things, but also now look at, why did you choose to stay longer than you may have chosen to or wanted to? Like your heart said to leave, but your body still stayed and your mind still stayed because of whatever attachment to them. Maybe you guys have kids, or maybe you felt there was love there, or you maybe have trauma bonded with that person. Whatever the case may be, figure out why you stayed longer. And if that person's still in your life right now, maybe start to reevaluate why you are allowing this person to stay in your life beyond their time period. Like, where I believe that things happen in our lives for us to learn from them. But if we never, ever learn from them, it's going to keep happening over and over again. So that's why when I say let's break those cycles, we're breaking those cycles by learning from them, growing from them, healing from them, so they don't have to happen again. Once we learn that lesson and we truly learn that lesson, the lesson stops. But of course, the next lesson comes. And so, but having the tools to be able to break that cycle so that when the next lesson comes, we are more well prepared and can break that cycle too. So that's what this course is all about, is giving you those tools to have in your toolbox, because maybe you didn't have them in the past, but now you have those tools to be able to know when it's time to leave, to know when you aren't being loved properly, to know when you aren't loving yourself properly because you're allowing someone to disrespect you and treat you beneath the way you should deserve to be treated. And so you're sticking around. So now that you have the tools in your toolbox to help you to heal, let's start using them. When you're in a situation, you realize this person isn't good for you, you now know this isn't good for you. Let's get out of that cycle faster than we did before, so that we don't have more damages, more healing to do, more inner work to do, because now you can leave faster than before, because your perspective has changed. Once you really start doing this work and doing this healing, it will reveal to you and remove that lens to show you what life really should look like and feel like for you. You will no longer want that man or that woman or that partner in your life who doesn't show you the love that you want to be shown or deserve to be shown. And how you show up into those relationships is all based on your inner work and your healing and what you feel you deserve. So that's why this work is so important. It's many different layers of being pulled back. It's not easy work, because it requires you to do some self-reflection, decide you to do some healing, decide you to do some accountability, I'm saying it wrong, but it requires you to do that, so that now you are looking at yourself and reflecting, journaling, and revealing and pulling back those parts of you that are not healed. But now we're doing that healing, that inner work, so we can start choosing better and start breaking those cycles. Because imagine you finally find that person who's meant for you, and you're happy, you're excited, you're being treated the way you deserve. And it's all because you decided to say enough is enough. I'm tired of this cycle. I'm tired of being abused. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of the cycle of someone not treating me good, because I'm taking my power back. I'm no longer seeing myself as a victim. I have tools in my toolbox now that are helping me to thrive and truly love again, because I have done that inner work. I love myself again. I have healed. I have embraced my journey. I have taken the steps to do that inner work. And it all starts today. It starts with you doing and looking at yourself and breaking those cycles and no longer accepting the bare minimum. Because what you accept now and those red flags that are happening now are going to typically be the reason that you leave and are no longer in that relationship. And so start revealing those things of what you've gone through in the past, so you can break those cycles and now be able to walk into the dating world much happier, much whole, and being able to attract the right person. Because typically, what I mentioned with the trauma bonding or how we are attracting is because of how we view ourselves and what we feel we are worthy of. And if we don't feel like we're worthy of the guy that we really say we want, we're going to keep going for the guy or the partner who is below us or who's going to treat us bad, is going to bring us down to their level because our vibrations are at that point. So once we start doing that healing, we start revealing and releasing those different things we've gone through, we start to even attract better. Like we often say or see on social media that the dating pool has peeing in, all those different things we hear. And that's because that's the lens that you're currently viewing the dating pool through. But once that lens is revealed, like there's billions of people in the world. Not every single person on this that you're looking to date is going to treat you bad. We have social media, we have dating apps, we have so many different ways to connect to people to date. Not everyone is bad. But it's because you're viewing the dating world from your current lens. But once you heal, once you start doing that inner work, you will see life so much more differently. You will attract better because you are loving yourself to the point that anyone who's below your vibration won't even be able to enter into your frequency because you are so high up in your vibration that even if they do try to enter, you won't even be entertained by them because you won't even be finding them attractive anymore. But because you've done the inner work, because you've done the healing, you will attract better, and that view that you have in the dating world will disappear because you'll start attracting better. Trust me, I know. Because once I started doing that inner work, I attracted better and ultimately finding the love of my life. And so let's start there of figuring out your dating patterns, breaking those dating patterns, viewing the world, doing that inner work as always. Like keep peeling back those layers and truly look at yourself. Now that you have the tools to start healing, let's start doing it. Take a day or so. Don't go on to the next module until you start really diving into, because I want you to find love again. But in order to do that, we have to break that cycle of what we are attracted to and start truly loving ourselves again. And once we really love ourselves again and love who we are, we won't accept anyone treating us less than what we deserve. And I want you to find that love. I want you to be happy. I want you to be amazing and thriving and truly transform your life. And to do that, it starts with this work. So take the time, write out those different things that I've mentioned, and let's start doing the inner work.